Welcome back, fellow cinephiles. Yeesh.
Hi.
I don't like that word.
No.
Do you use cinephile?
Rarely. It's like brandy. You gotta
brandy.
pull it out when it's right.
Yeah, or at least put it on ice. You know what I mean?
Or even then, it's like peach schnapps. Just no one wants to acknowledge it, but it's there.
But it's there. I only use it ironically.
Yeah. I'm still Nick.
And I'm still Victor. It's just me and Nick this time.
Once again, Ryan's not here.
Ryan died.
Yeah.
Tragic death. A cinephile death. He watched. Okay.
He watched
I don't know
Killing
what to
Spree
say
too many
anymore.
times.
He watched Killing Spree. So we got another film.
Another film.
Reflections of Evil. This was another pick of mine.
Victor's pick.
Nick, do you want to try to...
Where do I start with this one? All right. So the movie follows a fat man. I'm not fat shaming. He's just a really fat fella. Oh God, is that fat shaming? I think
No, it's just you're acknowledging.
Okay.
I mean, I think even bigger people acknowledge that they're big.
Okay, yeah. So
Just don't be rude about it.
Sure. But on the off chance, demonetize. It's just, that's a really fat guy. He's walking around early '90s Los Angeles, kind of just causing a whole heap of trouble or something. And at the same time, there's flashbacks to the early '70s, and they're interconnected in some strange, weird way. And I can't do it. This is so tough to talk about.
Dude, when I started watching this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm so ready for you guys to watch that.
The first second of the movie.
Oh yeah, dude. You're like, are you sure
you get the cinema epoch, whatever this damn
epic,
company's.
I don't.
Cinema epic. That goes away, and then the first second of film comes up. Instantly confused. I thought I was watching the wrong movie.
Dude,
I got the text messages to prove it. All right, Victor. Does it start up with Tony Curtis being dubbed over in a strange way?
Yeah, right.
Is there a really fat guy puking his guts out?
This is such a hard movie to summarize, to even talk about, to even recall, to be honest.
I feel like I should say something to you at the cost of our friendship.
Do it.
Screw you. This movie is garbage. Straight dumpster fire.
Oh, man. Well, so...
Watching the whole movie with your fingers pressed against your temple, and then it goes from 2 fingers to 4 fingers, and then you're just pressing your palms. What? Where do I start?
You didn't watch this with your mom, did you?
I did.
You did?
But she tuned out.
Did she walk out of the room? She's like, screw this.
No, she tuned out. She played on the iPad.
Oh, shoot.
And I got this, and oh God, I was trying to time this out before I got here.
Yeah.
Before scheduling.
I mean, it's a long-ass movie, too.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's...
That's not my jam with bad cinema. Not even cinema. Not even movies. Not even film. This doesn't qualify as a movie.
Well, I gotta tell you, Nick.
Okay.
Kind of love it.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Like... it is so trashy and so just.
If you have not seen. I feel like Roy Batty. I've seen things you people wouldn't be able to comprehend.
I mean,
This
honestly,
is the attack ships on fire up by Orion.
yeah, honestly, this is beyond.
This is
any sort of absurd. This is absurdist filmmaking to like 1,000%.
It's staggeringly god awful.
It's
to me.
Right. I mean, from the very beginning, yes, you have the strange overdubbing of a pre-recorded. What was his name? Tony
Curtis.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Gigantic movie star.
you're just like, what the hell's going on? Then it goes into some old 70s commercials, and you're watching these old people watch the commercials,
Yeah.
and
then look out the window, and our titular fat guy is
getting
going on his many thousands of tangents and curse rants. That man has problems.
There's just so much in here, dude. That just blew
There's a
my
lot
mind.
to unpack.
Like, one thing, it's the most major thing is the editing is.
No such thing.
Well,
Okay, fine.
oh, it
but
is such thing.
It's horrendous. There's a lot. It's really cutty. No camera shot looked planned in any way. And there's so much dubbing in this movie. It could rival most of the Godzilla catalog.
Yeah, the way that this film's edited and the images are displayed are just an assault on your ears, on your eyes. It is an ugly looking movie.
Let me tell you, the visuals were I could deal, but the
Yeah.
sound effects,
Dude, they
I had to mute my TV so many times.
it got louder in parts. Like,
Anytime he ate, forget about it.
Dude.
Anytime he eats food, I'm done. Just mute this sucker. Put a hole in the screen. I don't care which.
and I take it back. This isn't like I wouldn't say it's like ugly, like because there are some parts that I like genuinely thought were really good looking, like the scene where, okay, the scene where he goes to his house where his grandmother lives, and it's got that really cool blue lighting, and it's very dark, and
Yeah.
the look of like the house itself was really cool looking. The way some shots are superimposed or lights concerned, there's just some really technically interesting. Like, this isn't technically a boring film. Like, it is so
no.
interesting.
I mean, you could watch it. You can admire,
Yeah,
but at what cost, though?
and that's the thing. Like, this is a very unaccessible film. Like,
It's one thing to kill brain cells. To
Yeah.
drop IQ points, that takes talent.
but I just admire how balls to the freaking wall this film is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is just the main character walking around, yelling,
At everything.
yelling at everything.
Everyone's giving him shit, and he's giving everyone shit.
Everybody in this film is just a crusty, gross, mean person.
Everyone's a d-bag.
Everybody's
in
a
this
dick
town.
in this film. Like, no matter where he's walking, there's always people fighting. Like, I mean, notice that? Like, I mean, obviously it's not hard
Yeah.
to notice, but like, there's so many
Sure.
parts where just two people are fighting, and it's like, for what reason? Or there's a crazy schizophrenic man on the side of the street yelling at everyone. Like, the amount of crazy people in this film is just like. He took Damon Packard, who directed this and stars as the main character.
Jesus Christ.
What a freaking madman! Like,
Just
this is the type of low budget. I don't even know how low budget this film is because there's so many
$1.
extras.
I would say $1.
No, dude, but there are so many people in this film, like
there was
extras.
there's a
and-
giant list of
Yeah.
cast and characters.
I mean,
in the beginning,
that's what's so weird because there are so many people involved. I said involved.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
It's so amateurish, but it's weird because it isn't amateur, but it comes off like he knows what he's doing. Because this isn't his first film. I think he did 2 before this.
Did he?
Yeah,
I thought
and he's done like a handful since then. But
I'm
like,
surprised he got work at all.
I mean,
With
I think,
the way this came out.
but honestly, I think it's because it's so unlike anything. I mean, I don't know enough about this. I wouldn't even call it outsider filmmaking because he is in the industry. He's not, but this kind of DIY filmmaking that's just balls to the wall, dude. I don't know enough about these kind of films, but I feel like his voice was so unique and original. Like, I'm glad he was able to make more because this is just.
Yes,
You're
yes,
like,
you could.
yeah,
You could
twitching at the eyes.
You could certainly use those words,
I don't know.
especially in relation to this fella. But this was too much for
This
me.
was too. I
God.
understand. I totally
it was
understand.
it was an actual assault. It was so much an assault. I was about ready to call the cops. The visuals did too much. The sound effects were really over the top and overbearing. I was gonna have a stress attack or something.
That's I
Ugh, it's just a lot of crazy colors, a lot of bad special effects, and let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Could you make out a complete sentence in this movie, a full sentence, grammatically correct, verbally communicated decently.
The only one that comes to mind is when what is the main character's name? Fucking what is it? I don't know. The big man. Mr. Big Man. What is it? But the scene where he and his grandmother are sitting in that diner. Do you remember that?
When they're kids or whatever.
No. It's part of Bob. Bob's his name. But
okay.
when him and his grandmother are sitting in that diner, and he keeps trying to take bites of his sandwich, but the grandma's like, "You are just a pig. You're so gross," and it goes on for like 10 minutes.
What the shit?
Wait for the waitress to get you a doggy bag.
God, that grandmother.
Oh, she's nasty, dude.
I wanted to slap her into her grave.
But the dynamic between the two, like, you don't sympathize with either, dude.
You don't sympathize with anyone in this movie.
Except the sister character, because she has done nothing wrong. Which we'll get to a little bit later, but...
Yeah, but so there's no character to speak of.
There are no good redeeming qualities for 99% of the characters.
Just no one has character. There's no character developing scenes. No one... The directing doesn't take time to establish any characters, and the acting is piss poor. It's so terrible. This felt like they just dragged people off the street. It's like, hey,
to be honest.
Like, hey, you want to be in this movie? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, you're in the movie now.
I don't know, like...
I could not deal. This was insane. There were so many fucking scenes I kept in mind, but are gradually leaving me now because I want to forget shit like this right off the bat. But I will say the highlight for me, this movie straight up steals from other films.
Oh no, it absolutely does.
It takes sound bites from so many films. You get sound bites from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, Jurassic Park, Terminator 2,
even actual scores. Like there's one part
E.T. score.
Yeah, there's one part.
This guy has a weird fascination with Spielberg.
I think I read that it's like he doesn't like Spielberg or something. Like anti-Spielberg.
Him then.
I mean, dude, the young Spielberg scene where
there is a flashback scene involving a young Steven Spielberg around the Jaws Close Encounters days.
Scene because his direction is so piss poor, and the scene that they're creating is just like, what the hell is going on?
Just a bunch of mishmash. That's opposite what Spielberg did.
But I love it, dude, because it's like,
and his depiction of Spielberg himself.
Okay, he got the voice down, like to a
almost
freaking
there.
T, almost.
Almost there. The look needed work, but just the overall mannerisms. This is like what a non-fan would think Spielberg's like. Like, okay, we're gonna have this thing, and the magic and whatnot. The sparks gonna fly, and the body's gonna go down there, and there's a lot of arm waving and just the childlike enthusiasm taken to over 11, way more.
I love it because it's like, yeah, he's a Titanic filmmaker. He's a titan.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of like a F you, Spielberg. For some reason, Damon Packard maybe just doesn't like Spielberg because
I don't sympathize with such a view. So.
But I love when he's directing all the cast. Like, it's like, we need to fire this guy. Like, this guy is he's amateur. It's like,
except that's nowhere near to true. Everyone wants eating out of his pocket when Jaws came out.
I know, but it's that weird depiction of him that I just found to be so bizarre.
Yeah.
There's not a normal thing in this film. Like, I want to try to like go through this movie linear fashion, but like most of it is literally him walking around trying to sell watches, him having little freaks out.
No scene is coherent or builds off the previous one in a linear manner.
Not until it gets more towards like the last 40 minutes,
40 seconds, more like it. Jesus. I want to talk about the gun scene. So
the MG42.
It was an MG34 actually.
My bad.
Gun nut alert.
Yeah, right.
So he wanders into an LA neighborhood, as you do, and this one neighbor, like everyone else in the city, just instantly has a problem with Bob. He's like, this guy's an asshole. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to kill him. So he pulls out an old World War II machine gun, and what followed just blew my fucking mind. I break it. If I had a PowerPoint presentation, this would go up.
This movie
so fast.
If we could do this film, but like with a PowerPoint presentation for review, God, it needs it, dude.
Yeah, but this machine gun scene alone was crazy. For one, the muzzle flash effects they used were explosion effects, not muzzle
Yeah,
flares. And they used the soundbite from Terminator 2 for the minigun scene. It's a very distinctive sound effect. Any fan of that movie or action films in general will tell you it's an iconic scene. So that's terrible. And then the ricochet effects are just fireworks all over the screen. And even sometimes the way they're placed on the screen.
Oh, they're totally not even like
they're not lined up
properly.
with the frame, and you could see
The outline of the image.
border of the element. And then a slow motion shot of Fatty just rolling around the street.
Yeah.
That's just one scene. The whole movie is a mess like that. It astonishes me someone's capable of making such a product.
I mean, yeah, like that one scene where he's walking and there's like 10 people with dogs and the dogs just nonstop barking at him and it goes on. There's just every scene in this movie just goes on longer than anyone else would have done. It's like to the point where it's just like, oh wow, dude.
Yeah, quote of the by hour. Get on with it. Oh jeez. Yeah, he keeps running into dogs. Every time the camera moves, a new dog.
I don't know why. Why were dogs such a prominent force of threat? It's just very threatening. If there's a message in this film,
Lost.
I don't know.
I can't see it.
Like I like to usually engage and dissect a film, but if this has something to say about society, I don't know. Maybe everyone's just an ugly jerk.
This is just trash. You don't go swimming in trash. There's another scene I have to mention. So there's another beef scene. I'll call them beef scenes. This one beef scene involves a Hispanic man. Again, he's got a problem with Bob the fatty.
Yeah.
I'm really pushing it right now. How demonetized can you get?
Yeah.
So yeah, Bob again has trouble with this Latino man, and it starts out with the Latino man having beef with another Latino man. By the way, the racial stereotyping is
pretty bad, dude.
It's terrible. It's disgraceful. So he's having a problem with Latino man. He's like, hey man, I'll fuck you up. You got a problem with me? Let's go, man. And then he sees Bob instantly just snarls teeth at him.
Yeah.
And the way it's edited, it's awful. The shots don't look like they were shot in the same space or the same day. Because Latino man's got this nice golden hour sunset on him. It looks kind of nice, sort of thing. Just because it's a sunset, not because the filmmaking had any genius behind it. And then you have the reverse shot of Bob. It's a bright mid-afternoon. What looks like it's near a cemetery or something. Yeah. And he doesn't even look like he's looking the right way.
Yeah.
His eyeline is totally off. And the way the movie guides your eyeballs, it's strange. Because he's looking to the right of the screen, and so is Latino man. And his dialogue, he just kind of... It's so pathetic sounding. The way it's delivered, the way it's written. If there even was a script. There's no script. There was no script for this movie.
Okay, but I gotta ask you something. Like, okay, so there are... yes, the editing and direction is piss, right?
Yeah.
But when you see the film as a whole, can you look at it and be like, okay, take all your preconceived notions of good editing, good direction, good lighting, good cinematography, everything.
Okay.
Pretend you've never been to film school.
Okay.
Blada, 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 whatever.
Right.
I think it helps to see the film for what it is exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a film going for any of that technical stuff. Yeah. Any script, a good script, good direction.
I've seen lots of movies.
Oh, no, for sure.
That go that route.
But from that...
Most of Roland Emmerich's work.
From that, unbiased, not objective point of view, a very... what's the opposite of objective?
Not voyeuristic.
No. Like, there's it's a statement almost, like your objective...
An observant as an observer.
It's late, dude. It's like 11:30. We're fumbling our words, but to be able to look at it for what it is, like this is a trashy film.
Yeah.
Do you think you can admire it from that point of view? Like it's supposed to be junk.
Maybe.
And you can kind of forgive.
But I probably could. But then I remember other famous bad movies that have 5 times the vision this movie does. Let's look at Birdemic. James Nguyen,
Sure.
he had an intent behind
Yeah.
it, and he's clearly inspired by the movies he
Yeah,
loves,
yeah,
The
that's
Birds, Alfred Hitchcock, and so forth.
And it's hard to say what this man's inspired
Yeah,
by.
Tommy Wiseau for The Room.
Yeah.
He knew he wanted to do old school Tennessee Williams epic, but it just went completely south.
Right.
But still, he knew his limitations. He knew how far his voice could reach as far as a storyteller
Right.
and a creator of a product,
Mm-hmm.
of a movie. So yeah, that's worth a lot more than what Reflections of Evil put out. Why is it called Reflections of Evil, by the way?
That's a good question. I was trying
There's
to figure
nothing-
that out.
The only evil thing is the bad mood vibes it's got going on.
It is hard to place what exactly Reflections of Evil meant.
Oh man,
Yeah, because I'm a little bit lost on that too.
I can't.
There's just so many scenes. I love the scene where he goes into Universal Studios
Oh jeez. Okay,
and he goes on that ET ride, and
that was so weird. You know what I hated was he was in the movie theater.
oh, dude,
That again, more theft going on. They brought a video camera into a fucking movie theater and recorded trailers.
in the
playing.
credits he says he's permanently banned from Universal Studios from this.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that was just a joke, but I would assume so. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think you're allowed back in.
Yeah, you see clear as day. Trailer. You see the THX logo. A
Yeah.
trailer for
Phantom Menace.
No,
Star Wars 2.
Attack of the Clones.
Right.
Oh, okay. Another thing. This is supposed to take place in the 70s and the 90s. Why am I seeing movie posters for 2002 films? You got Miss Congeniality, The Mummy Returns.
I love how many times that poster comes up.
It's like, he's got a beef with Sandra Bullock too. Why?
I was goofing up.
Why?
Oh, that was
America's
hilarious.
Sweetheart.
Uh,
Never seen Speed?
But yeah, see, it's another one of those things where it's like, doesn't matter that.
I guess you can only scream and shout at a movie so much.
Yeah, and then you got to kind of take it.
But then again, you as a person have standards with your art, and you should hold it accountable against those standards. I'm not trying to sway you.
Agree to disagree.
I
But
feel
yeah, like,
very strongly about this one.
that's cool. I'm
This is a
glad.
bad movie that rubbed me the wrong way.
I'm glad I got a good reaction out of you because
Me too.
Yeah.
I think I needed this or something. I didn't know I needed this.
this is see how Ryan hated "Spit in Your Grave."
Yeah.
Now you have that sort of passion.
I was telling him
for-
that before we went on the air.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. I'm feeling the feel. Just raw
hate
hate, disgust.
that when he's in the movie theater and he looks behind him
And the guy's
there's
jacking off or something? What?
I love that because it's so creepy, dude. It's
What?
like this shirtless dude in the back with these glowing green eyes because he's using night vision mode on the
Yeah, the
camera they're
camera's
filming
got
on.
night vision
And
mode.
he's like quickly like jerking
And then
off.
you cut back to Bob just burying his face in popcorn.
Yeah, dude. Anytime like you said, anytime he eats, it's like they dubbed that and turned it up like an extra 10
Awful.
decibels. Like,
Awful. Just awful. Violating.
but
not
see,
necessary.
this is the kind of humor and trashy editing that I love because watching Tim and Eric in my late teens and being just laughing my ass off with their editing and their stupid camera mistakes and their editing mistakes. Like, this is the type of stuff that I love it.
Oh,
And I can
sure.
see why it's like
Yeah.
because did you ever watch like Tim and Eric or any
I've
of
only
those?
seen the Steve Rules sketches.
Okay.
But those
I mean, that's much more tame than this, but
more tame and more higher quality. Let's
yeah,
be real.
and more accessible for sure.
Yes.
Like, this takes mistakes and embraces them 100%. Yeah, what else do I have? Because most of my notes are just scenes that I was like,
Yeah, I can hardly recall scenes. Oh,
Um,
you know what else was? You know what was equally as annoying as him eating?
yeah.
That fucking bundle of headphones he wore on his neck.
I'm glad you mentioned that, dude.
Imagine that for 2 hours.
See, that is
For 2
another
hours.
thing that I love is those stupid, like, you don't need that, but it's because
He had a million different shirts tied around his waist.
I know, dude.
And his fat belly, I saw the pillow fall out twice. maybe.
See, the sound design in this film, I freaking love it. The bundle of headphones just or his bundle. Yeah, my bundle.
Jeez.
Let go of my bundle. It's just bundle of clothes and it's just shaking and moving and
that suitcase.
jingling. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I want to say to a sound guy? Buy a dead cat. That's insane.
I don't know. Agree to disagree, man. Okay, the Golden Guru. Do you remember him?
Oh Jesus! Oh, okay. It's the '70s
It's
scene.
yeah.
He's got the red pill and blue pill. Sound familiar?
Okay, I love the imagery in that though. It's during golden hour.
It's golden hour, and they're doing some weird effects. By the way, the effects in this movie are basic editing transitions on a computer.
But
come on,
they're implemented in the right ways.
Yeah, if a 12-year-old discovered filmmaking for the first time,
like the scene where, okay, because I think in that moment, Bob's sister, it's like a flashback to his sister when she gets into like the drugs. And,
I'm surprised you're discerning plot points out of this. This is incredible.
And they implement that mirroring effect.
Yeah,
I freaking love that. But
yeah, very song remains the same on its own. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
the Led Zeppelin concert film. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No.
Okay, they use the mirror effects.
Okay,
during some of the songs, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, like that whole Golden Guru scene, I just love it because it was just so. Not only is the imagery really cool to me, but it just had that free flowing nature that time period had, because obviously it was trying to
it's the 70s.
Yeah,
everything's free love,
and I love it because it's just so obvious and on the nose. But
subtlety.
It's just my jam. I don't know why. I can go love a film like Blowout, but I will also love a film like this for the complete opposite reason.
You got a strong will, my friend.
Especially for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Good God.
That's excessive. This is way too long. I couldn't stand it.
The injection scene when she goes into the tunnel. Do you remember that? She goes in the tunnel and does...
Oh, yeah. She does shoot up a heroin shot or something. It wasn't heroin?
Something. I think it was
fucking knows?
PCP. Yeah, it was PCP.
Okay, yeah, PCP.
But it just also goes again with the imagery.
Yeah.
I'm just such a fan of how psychedelic and just gnarly this film gets, and just the colors, and mostly this film's editing. I love.
Yeah. How about Schindler's List: The Ride?
That wasn't real, was it?
No.
I was like, that banner looked too real, though. I was like, there is no way.
There is no way in hell anyone would greenlight that.
I know, dude. They get one of those trains, those trolleys.
Damon, what's his head's doing?
And they have people dressed up as like Nazi soldiers. Like, I'm like,
another thing about the sound. People are pitched correct to holy hell in this film.
That's another thing.
Up or down. Probably because in some instances they can't use the audio of a copyright product.
Well, no, I don't think so, because I mean, damn, they used Lucasfilms, they used Star Wars.
Okay.
Like, I think.
Okay, sure, but when Steven Spielberg, the actual Steven Spielberg, is introducing the ET ride, but it's dubbed over, of course, because it's its own little world. We don't dare, when we besmirch the name of Steven Spielberg. Yeah, they dub over him, but for ordinary citizens, and even. No, not actually. Tony Curtis wasn't even dubbed over.
No, he was.
But ordinary citizens, they're either they sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks or
demons. Okay, that one scene where I don't know where this is even in the film, but I think it's later. But let me try to recall this. He goes into a neighborhood and there's all those black guys, or it might just be one black guy.
He's
just getting yelled at by these crazed
stereotypical
homeless men.
Crazed homeless men, stereotypical black gangbangers.
And they're like seething. They're like they're like growling, and the gibberish that comes out of their mouth is so scary, dude. I just remember watching some of these scenes by myself in my room in the dark and just being like, this is too bizarre at some points. Like I think one thing that made it so scary in its own way was just the way he did play with like the sound, and things were just way too loud or just uncomfortably loud, or pitched to like
Yeah.
the lower registry. It was just like, what the F are you doing?
Yeah, but again, I find there's a major difference between that and what this movie does.
Uh-huh.
Because you can have a movie with overbearing audio and visuals, but it can't be this drastic. It's insane. I think back to Christopher Nolan's movies, namely Interstellar and Dunkirk.
Yeah.
If you see, kind of cheating because he
that's
has a
also
he has a budget.
$800
he gets in
million
theaters.
dollars.
Yeah, and he gets it in theaters, uses the IMAX and whatnot. But the way he
yeah.
uses the IMAX for those two films, it fits. There is an intent behind them, and you could still have the overwhelming soundscape and visual flair.
Right.
The Interstellar, you had that intense organ score and all the rocket launches and whatnot.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
real. This could almost be plausible
Well-
and also artistic. Dunkirk, it's a war zone. It's supposed to surprise and shock you.
You
Drive home the
can't
fear these
compare it
soldiers
to-
felt.
Nolan.
Reflections of Evil? Gibberish.
Well, let's just say mixing wasn't their top priority.
No.
Audio mixing.
Really wasn't. I bet if you looked at the timeline in the editing bay, it's just all red.
I would love to
playthrough.
see the timeline.
You know what? This actually looks like it was shot on film.
It was 16 millimeter.
How in the hell could they afford that?
See, that's why I'm so confused because there must have been a decent budget.
Maybe 16 millimeter isn't that
It's not the most expensive, but
not the most expensive, but it's cheaper than the 35. That's what. Yeah, Dog Soldiers was 16 millimeter.
yeah, on IMDb there's no like
Doesn't tell you what camera.
no
it used.
or camera. Yeah, I mean, or just a 16 millimeter.
Okay.
But it says that he inherited, or he funded the movie with money he inherited when a relative died. So that would have been quite a bit of money because, like, yeah, there's a lot in this movie.
There's so much to get through.
So that's what's so surprising.
Ugh.
Also, remember that vomit scene in the very beginning?
Please,
He didn't.
God.
He didn't even want that.
He didn't want
No.
that.
So according to, I'm reading this off of IMDb
Okay.
trivia. According to the director, Damon Packard himself, the extended vomit scene found early on in the film wasn't his idea and put in against his wishes. He said the studio made me shoot that. They felt a mega vomit sequence would make it more marketable, especially for the vomit crowd. I didn't want that in, and they did it under protest. I found that to be so bizarre.
Producers. This movie had producers. Probably a million producers, but jeez.
I don't
The,
know.
the fact they made him put a vomit scene in, and it's a movie like this,
I don't know.
a movie that no one is going to watch.
the vomit crowd.
Yeah, in their right mind.
I'm part of the
2002.
vomit crowd.
This wasn't in theaters. Direct-to-video wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
And even if it was severely buried. I imagine this is the kind of movie that gets duplicated onto cassette tapes in the area it was made. And
think-
Damon Packard just passes it around to neighbors and friends.
I think he actually did send off DVDs to people. If I remember reading a review, and someone was talking about how they had the original
Yeah.
copies. But yeah, I don't know. This is just
Yeah.
I don't
Speaking
know,
of
dude.
reviews, this movie's got a kind of a fan base behind it.
yeah.
And
It is.
and they're praising it to holy hell, to high heaven.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not.
you're on the
with
opposite
it.
spectrum.
These people are crazy.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
There's a lot of
there's
more.
another scene
Yeah.
too. He puts on the headphones, plays the Carpenters
yeah,
song,
dude, I love that.
and the damn homeless people start puking blood.
That's right. Yeah, because the chemtrails.
The chemtrails, the goddamn chemtrails.
We've only just begun.
Please, good lord.
I
Yeah,
love
they
the needle drops in this. They're unexpected, but
They're unexpected. They are poorly used.
I was like, okay. Although the Carpenters one I really
Okay.
enjoyed.
Well, yeah, it's a
but-
good song, but it's too good for this movie. And I
But
think-
that was kind of like I think that was like where the movie started to like actually,
shift.
yeah, kind of go somewhere if I remember right. Because I think that's
Maybe.
when that title card came up. That ripped off 2001.
Oh, I was so sad about that. Like, leave
Dude,
2001
I
alone.
knew it. I knew it. I was like, oh, perfect.
I remember clearly. I heard the music build
Yeah.
up, and then I was
The
thinking, like,
iconic,
"Oh no,
yeah.
please no!" And then you see the Stargate behind the friggin' text card. Like, no.
It just unabashingly rips off other films.
Yeah,
It's.
doesn't give a spit.
I love that one scene where he's arguing with that police officer about
Oh, yeah.
selling watches, and there's like a 2 hour later car that comes up.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
the
still
really racist police officer.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Watch or you want the watch or you want the dick? You remember that where he's like, but he says another word, and it's just like,
N-word.
yeah, they're like a big fatty like you, bend you over. It's just like, what the?
I'll give him this. It felt like I was watching an actual racist on screen. They
Right.
find this guy off the street. It's like, hey, just rant about African Americans for a bit.
Just for a bit.
Just for a bit.
What else?
you know?
Yeah, what else have I done? Veteran with the MG34, crazy black homeless. When his sister reaches the theme park, because what happens? I think.
Oh, she
The
goes through a
sis-
train tunnel. Right?
Yeah, the sister tells Bob from the spirit realm that they need to meet at the mountain at the theme park.
When did she do that?
It's a very, I think, brief like audio snippet, like meet me at the mountain or something.
Okay, see, I was either complaining about 5 different things when that was going on, or I just didn't hear it because the sound mixing was terrible.
Yeah. So basically, I had to like go meet at the theme park. So I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no coherent story. It doesn't go A to B.
It's like
nothing
there-
builds off a
See,
previous
there's
scene.
there's a story, but it kind of doesn't follow it for a lot of it. It's like the main 90% of the film is him selling his watches and getting into his crazed antics with his grandma
Yeah.
or the homeless.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so
And- yeah.
he keeps selling watches, and he keeps making back the amount of money it takes to buy a bundle of
That's
watches.
so funny.
Why not just change your career path, man? You know.
I mean, all I have is enough for the one. Yeah. Don't have enough money to buy more watches. I keep only getting
My eyes
enough
are
to buy. Yeah.
rolling my
Yeah.
eyes so hard I could see plankton controlling my brain.
What was that? When the sister goes to the theme park and everyone's dying because it's like reenacting. What was it? She sees that sign that says something about they're reliving accidents that happen at the park. Do you remember that? It's like a warning billboard.
Oh
she read.
yeah, okay. She sees a dipshit fall off a roller coaster, and then as she's going through the park, bodies just start falling from the sky.
Yeah. It had to do something with them reliving the accidents that happened.
Again, your
I don't-
ability to comprehend plot points in a sea of just a cesspool like this. I don't know,
know
man.
how.
Just- I could never see past it because by this point I was so aggravated. I could not get into any kind of story. However,
Yeah.
however it tried to build up. It was infuriating.
See,
I was screaming for the movie to go faster.
what part do you think was the moment where you're like, turn this off? Like, this needs to end now.
I'm gonna say,
If you can even remember the
if
scene.
I can even remember, probably. Oh, maybe that first time he's in his living room den, he's blue lit, and he's just eating all the fucking.
Oh, that's pretty early
food.
on.
It's so early on. That's when I first muted the TV. It's like, no, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. Just muted.
Oh, jeez. That's fair.
And you know what? I actually fell asleep in this movie.
What?
I was passing out in the midpoint, so I couldn't even.
What time did you watch this?
was
Like just today, right?
Yeah, today, but I was just feeling kind of tired.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
woke up early, and I even did a film shoot today a little bit, just a small thing.
Yeah.
But I was doing some work on camera and whatnot. But I was feeling drowsy, and my chair was really comfortable. I have a really comfortable viewing chair.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So, I don't know. I was so bored by some of it. I just dozed off, and I didn't care to rewind it. It's like, what? Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's fair because you're not really
Figure
gonna
I'm not
miss.
missing much. The whole movie's this crazy.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean, as much as I really dig this movie, the last 10 minutes or so when they reach the theme park, it definitely the shtick is definitely up
Yeah,
for me.
the gig is up.
The
man.
gig is up. Like, all right, I was enjoying. Like, I literally was enjoying those 2 hours. Like, somehow I was like, oh yeah. But those last 15 minutes or so, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is getting a little repetitive.
kind of sad.
After 2 hours.
Kind of sad. I was actually wishing I was there at Universal Studios watching the Waterworld stunt show instead of sitting here watching some fat dipshit run around in front of the Waterworld stunt show.
Yeah.
Because it looked so cool, and my mom was going off. It was like, that was cool. I was there. It was really awesome.
And it cuts back to him freaking out. You're like, damn it.
Unfortunately,
Oh, man.
so dumb.
What else is there to talk about? with
I
this
don't
movie?
know,
Do I
man.
have any-
I can't remember anything now.
Yeah, I think this is just an extreme, batshit insane movie where
Yeah.
logic is out the window, technicality, any sense of rhythm or care is like it's out the window. But
Yeah, and no sense of art. For me.
for you, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I can dig a good bad film.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that I still kind of come back to on
Yeah.
the regular.
Like Birdemic is a great
Yeah,
bad film.
Birdemic's
and that's a good
solid.
one to show someone who
Yeah.
hasn't really seen a bad movie. Like,
Yeah, man.
that's a good accessible
That's a
film.
good one.
This one, if this is like, you know that image, it shows like an ice cap and then it's below the ice cap where
Yeah.
you have like certain websites that are at the top and the bottom's like your dark net.
Oh,
This
man.
movie belongs in the dark net, like
Oh, shit.
the depths of the sea. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't a film that.
This is
just not to sound pretentious, but a novice
Oh, yeah.
filmmaker or movie watcher. This is if you're a novice movie watcher, just save this one
Yeah.
for
Or Run for the Hills.
years
you know?
down the road. Just when you have a bit more knowledge of film, I guess this is a good one just to like know. I don't know. It's either one you're gonna really freaking hate like Nick,
Yeah.
or you're gonna kind of love it like me.
Yeah, this did not gel with me at all. I just found it infuriating from start to finish, and I couldn't believe I finished it even for
I'm
this
surprised. I'm
podcast.
proud of you for not
Hey,
not skipping
we gotta,
through it.
gotta
or-
stick with it, man.
yeah, dude.
I ain't gonna wimp out that easy, let me tell you.
So yeah, I mean,
So-
all I have to talk about is just certain scenes. Like I already went over most of the scenes I can
Pretty much.
remember.
I think that's
noted
about.
down.
That's. I think we get the gist of it right
It's
now. So my
yeah.
view is bad acting, bad storytelling, bad technical qualities, bad anything else. Just stamp it. Bad. Bad, 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 bad. Horrible. Despicable. Again, dumpster fire.
would you call it a waste of time?
A high amount of waste. High waste of time.
No recommendation for anyone.
No.
No.
Just, you have to be on the most, probably the most. Oh, I don't know. We got coronavirus
Oh,
now.
boy.
We're gonna die soon here.
I'm sorry.
No, I think you have to be just straight hammered or tripping balls to even think about looking for this film. However you can, it's too much for novice bad movie watchers, for experienced bad movie watchers. I just can't recommend this on anyone. It's too much.
You want to give it your rating?
Half a star. And that's
all right.
that.
What else can I add to this? I don't know. I just love how almost anti-movie it is, anti-film. It's just maybe too extreme for its own good.
Yeah.
It's so over the top, and I can't imagine what it was like editing this movie because, like, dear Lord, dude, this is the patience Packard must have had editing this thing is like.
Yeah.
Or
He
whoever.
edited this?
I could be wrong. I actually want to check.
I'll check.
But
I'll back up
oh,
this
I'm already
one.
on there. But just its commitment to I can't find it. Just his commitment to insanity. I'm just so amused and honestly kind of impressed by. I'm really impressed by how just ruthless and trashy this film is. But it's not like I think there's a bit of art to this. I don't know why.
No, go ahead, say it.
It's like maybe there is a message, maybe there's not, but I think as a testament to indie filmmaking and this kind of schlocky, absurdist comedy, I think it kind of nails it. Like, I would call this...
Go on.
I would call this a...
No.
a masterpiece.
I'm done. Okay. Fine. I'm leaving the door.
I'm not going to give this 5 stars. I'm going to give it 4.5.
I came back. What did you say?
I think it's a masterpiece. All right. So
I'm out again.
But I would give this 4.5.
4.5.
I mean, I don't see why I couldn't give it 5. But those last 15 minutes, that shouldn't bring my score down half a star. But
sure.
Would I watch this again? That's hard to say, honestly, because it is very long. And I don't know if I can get the same appreciation of it a second time through. Maybe I could. But there are a lot of detours, or a lot of like the commercials and stuff.
Oh, God, we didn't even talk about the commercials.
Yeah, I kind of
shit
glided over that, but it takes many breaks and goes.
Yeah, they have ads for the Grammy Awards.
Yeah, like old
movie trailers.
Yeah.
And freaking Joey Heatherton mattress ad that my mom clearly remembered.
Oh, did
from
she?
her heyday.
What a great commercial, dude.
God.
But there's actually 2 versions of this. There's another one that's an hour and 50 minutes.
There's another version of the film.
It's the one that's included in the Fandor app, the one that I recommended at first.
Okay.
That one actually removes all that stuff.
All the
trailers and all the ads and stuff.
What about the old couple?
I don't know. Probably. I actually don't know. But it actually makes it a bit more coherent, I guess.
Okay.
Probably. I assume so.
Well, I think that would help a
It
little
would.
bit.
But then again, I feel like it might take away... maybe for me, it might take away
The enjoyment?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But like I said, it's a long movie. Don't know if I want to sit through this one again, but I would definitely buy it. I actually messaged Damon Packard on Facebook.
What?
But I haven't sent him a friend request, so like the chance of him reading the message is probably pretty slim.
Oh,
but I just told him how much I dug it and all that jazz. Because there are some copies available online. I might have to get one someday. I don't know. I dug it for what it is. It's kind of shitty, but I can appreciate it, respect it. So that's my...
Yeah.
I said my piece.
Okay. I'll just reiterate, I would not call this a movie at all. It doesn't qualify as a movie. I'm running for the hills the next time I see this.
Well, hopefully I don't recommend another film that's like this.
Hopefully it's not your turn next.
No, it'll be Ryan's.
Yeah,
we'll see what he picks.
Hopefully,
he ain't on the air, but
hopefully he'll come back on the air.
We'll get him on next.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually gonna take a week off.
We're gonna take a week off
to kind of recoup, maybe come out with a game plan of how we're gonna like market these a little bit better, because we do want to get on Spotify, we do want to get on Apple, we do want to reach out to a bigger audience, because we have left and came back on Reviews from the West multiple times.
Oh yeah,
we have had many hiatuses.
Yeah,
many a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to really stick through this, and we've had a pretty good 3 months so far.
Yeah, and for those of you that have stuck around this long, please keep listening and keep supporting us.
Yeah,
we appreciate the ears, keeping the ears out for us.
Yeah, we don't see ourselves,
Yeah, we just like talking movies and sharing it with people.
And doing this like podcast style is a very like low pressure way of, because honestly, staring at a camera and talking to the camera and trying to review,
that scares me a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like this is a bit more natural way of like expressing our opinions.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, people are taking to listening a lot more these days.
absolutely, yeah.
Like-
So
that's pretty much it, right?
yeah. So we'll be back. I think we actually have a Castlevania season 3 review coming out soon. Ryan's putting out. I think he was putting out a graphic novel review soon. So we're going to be branching out more to TV and probably comics and stuff like that. So
There's stuff's a coming.
be on the lookout. Hopefully, we'll have another film review in the next couple weeks. Thanks for listening, and
And good night and good luck.
good night.